arthropods, their closest living relatives would be the horseshoe crabs.
For 45 million years, 2,000 different species of trilobites flourished in the Ordovician. But then, something suddenly went wrong.
And at the very end of the Ordovician, trilobites take a huge hit. About 65 to 70% of all species in the marine realm at that time go extinct.
Many scientists blame the Ordovician mass extinction on a global cooling, an ice age. There was a sudden drop in temperature which could have killed off many trilobites, but not as many as actually disappeared.
Basically, we needed some more oomph to explain how this many species could have been lost.
Brian Thomas and the Kansas Astronomy Department had a theory. They explained how a gamma ray burst might not only have frozen the Earth, but also depleted the ozone, creating a dangerous surge of ultraviolet light.
And these two things in combination really represented a 1-2 punch for life on this planet. I recognized that, aha, this is exactly the type of pattern that we see at the end of the Ordovician.
The harsh ultraviolet was lethal to plankton, the microscopic creatures living near the ocean's surface. They had no shielding. Lieberman concluded that any trilobites whose larvae swam near the surface would have lost all their young, becoming extinct in short order. That's why 70% of them suddenly vanished. An earthly chill coupled with an ultraviolet spike. It was a serious double whammy.
Usually when you look at anything biological, 1 and 1 is 3. You can handle what's coming at you from this side, or you could handle what's coming at you from that side, but you can't handle them both. And so usually when there's more than one stress, if it's cold and ozone or whatever it is, it's usually much harder than handling one at a time.
If the University of Kansas scenario is right, and a gamma ray burst did strike the Earth 450 million years ago, could it happen again?
The event that would happen at 6,000 light years might happen a few times every billion years.
The whole of human history is just an instant compared to such massive timescales. That means the chances of a GRB endangering mankind on the Earth are remote. And yet, the scientists tell us not to dismiss them.
We can't say there was one 450 million years ago and there will be another one 450 million years from now. It could happen essentially at any time.
What would happen if a gamma ray burst were to occur? How would Earth fare against the most explosive force in the universe? A force that until a few years ago was a complete mystery. Until the 1960s, gamma ray bursts were completely unknown. They were discovered accidentally during the Cold War at the height of the nuclear arms race. When the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was signed in 1963, the U.S. launched Project Vela, a fleet of satellites to detect any Soviet tests that might violate the pact.
They detected flashes of gamma rays on these satellites because they had gamma ray detectors.
Soviet tests that might violate the pact.
They detected flashes of gamma rays on these satellites because they had gamma ray detectors. Nuclear bombs make flashes of gamma rays.
In 1967, one of the Vela satellites picked up gamma rays no nuclear bomb could have made. They appeared as a large double peak on a graph of data about 8 seconds long. The first burst astounded scientists because it came not from Earth, but from outer space.
There's nothing we love more than a surprise, and this was really surprising.
But gamma rays are not visible to the naked eye, so the readouts from scientific instruments were the only sign of the spectacular display.
When a gamma ray burst is happening, it outshines everything else in the entire universe in gamma rays. And so that was really a completely new phenomenon and not something that anybody would have expected.
It was also alarming because until then, The only thing we knew to cause big gamma ray flashes were nuclear explosions. The Vela satellites were not equipped to pinpoint the positions of GRBs in the sky or how far away they were.
Because these gamma ray flashes were so unexpected and there was no real idea of what could produce such a flash of gamma rays, the whole astronomical community and the public too were quite puzzled by what was causing these flashes of gamma rays.
By the 1970s, astronomers had detected a few dozen gamma ray bursts and came up with still more theories on what caused them. They even considered alien warfare in deep space.
Zero and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Atlantis and the Gamma Ray Observatory.